Good evening. It's Saturday night. It is now the 10th of December. So, getting to that time of year that I'm not too crazy about. And I'm glad when it's over and we're into January and then it's time for the Whiskey Festival again. A couple weeks ago, I went out shopping and I picked up some Devron and I picked up some, what was the other one? Royal Lochnagar. And I was going to get a couple of cheap ryes and like a bourbon, but then I was steered towards the Canadian whiskey department. And it turns out that they had a rare curiosity there that I should actually try. So I put a couple of ryes and a bourbon or so back on the shelf and I picked this up. This is J.P. Weiser's Union 52. What it is, well, there's not much on the bottle. It's just a square Weiser's bottle, like the same bottle they put the 18 in and they put the Legacy, both of which are nice. Like the 18 is very smooth and very easy drinking, and the Legacy has a bite of rye in it, which I really enjoy a lot. That is a premium Canadian whiskey if ever there was one. But this one here, they call it Union 52 for a reason. Well, Union is because some Scotch was mixed in or vatted with some Canadian whiskey, and 52 is because the Scotch is 52 years old. Now, there's no mention anywhere that I've been able to find, but I haven't really looked all that hard, which Scotch it was. But apparently there was a barrel of Scotch whiskey in the Weiser's warehouse, and it was 52 years maturing before it was cracked. And when they cracked it, they vatted it with some Canadian whiskey. I don't know which Canadian whiskey. Was it a rye whiskey? Was it a corn whiskey? Was it a blend of rye and corn and malt and, whatever? Was there some wheat in there? I don't know. But apparently 4% of this is that 52-year-old Scotch. And the other 96% of it is some Weiser's whiskey. So what it says on here, let me get the brighter light on. It says, our master blender married the last barrel of 52-year-old Highland malt Scotch from our archives with our finest Canadian whiskies, resulting in a rich, smooth blend, a union of new and old world styles. 45% alcohol by volume, 750 mils, and item of A.A 1203. So I guess there was 1,203 bottles of this stuff. I'm only guessing. I think that's what the A.A 1203 means. This is not a numbered bottle, so any two would be the same, and I don't believe it's available on the shelf anymore. It was only available that one time, and I think it just sold out immediately. So now I have some, and it also says Collector Series, so it's a special item that I probably will never see again. However, the last time I said I would never see something again, it showed up on the shelf 2 years later, and there was one bottle that had been lurking in the warehouse somewhere in the back of the liquor store. So let's get this plastic crap off of here. And now it's got a dark wood top to the cork, and it looks like there's a coat of arms sunk into the dark wood. Well, let's give this a... Oh, it's tight. Turn it. It's tight little... There we go. Okay. I'm not getting anything special on the cork. This glass has had Canadian whiskey in it already. Particularly the Century 21-year-old. And it has also had some Gooderham and Worts 4-grain Canadian whiskey. So the glass is nicely seasoned. And, oh, that is one tight little mother of a cork. Okay. Well, as usual, I was a little bit... Oh, it's got legs. Do you see that? It's like a rim. There's like a ring around the glass. Oh my goodness. Does it ever have... Huh. Well, let's just coat the glass so we can give it a good sniff. Oh! Oh, this is special. Oh, wow. From what I'm getting in the nose here. Oh. There's a lot of caramel and vanilla. Oh. This is like the Legacy a lot, except that where you would get a rye note, you've got more caramel and more vanilla. Thanks, no doubt, to the 50 years old in a cask, 50 years in a cask. Now, that cask could have been an ex-bourbon barrel, and only 4% of that was in there for 52 years. I mean, I'm 52 years old, okay? So this whiskey, or 4% of this whiskey in here, is as old as I am, which is just, that's the part that's giving it that heavy caramel and vanilla. Oh, vanilla. There's also a minty note to it. A minty note that I get from some ryes sometimes. Typically, the Woodford Reserve rye had a minty note to it. So this might be... Oh, this might be a high rye whiskey like the Legacy. And it's got that extra caramel and especially vanilla, lots of vanilla. It's got all that vanilla from the Scotch portion being in a ex-bourbon barrel for 52 years. Ah. Oh, lots of vanilla. Vanilla, caramel, bit of toffee. It's got that minty note. I mentioned that already. It's like spearmint. And I'm not getting a lot of floral notes. There's definitely rye. You know, that might have even been, that 52-year-old Scotch might have even been in a sherry cask. If this is not colored, it's kind of reddish. So it could have been sherry even. But yeah, you know, now that it's opening up a little, there is something fruity to it, but it's almost like cherries. Maybe I'm getting a bit of tobacco too. like pipe tobacco. Rich aromatic pipe tobacco. I'm not sure what else I'm getting. And it's hard to really pick apart which part comes from the 52-year-old Scotch and which part comes from the Canadian whiskey. I'm getting rye notes with very well mixed with fruity dark fruits, but they're just sort of hiding in the background. And this is just in the nose. Oh, excuse me. Now, where was I when I was so rudely interrupted? Oh yeah, I was nosing this J.P. Weiser's Union 52. It's been sitting another 10 minutes since I was nosing it last, so let's try again. Okay. I'm getting a very thorough mixture of the caramel and vanilla, mostly vanilla, some minty notes, some indistinct medium fruity notes, and maybe a bit of oak. Let's see what this tastes like. I'm really curious because it's got a very interesting nose. I'm guessing already that it's going to be very well balanced. Let's turn the light back down so I don't look so bright. There, that's a better white balance, don't you think? Well, let's taste it. Mm-hmm. This is different. It's got some of that complex, very complex. There's some fruity notes on the sides. There's a very strong vanilla, creamy vanilla on the tip of my tongue. There's a little bit of bitterness maybe on the sides. Let's try this again. That was just a first. Okay, once again, I'm getting some kind of a fruity note underneath the vanilla and caramel. The vanilla is sort of moving aside, at least in the nose. It has a creamy, viscous mouthfeel. It's very complex. There are fruits. Yeah, I think it was in a sherry cask. There are fruits. The fruits are very. They're not light fruits like apple and pear, and they're not really dark fruits like figs and dates and raisins. It's somewhere in between, indistinct. The closest I can come to is a cherry. And yeah, there's some vanilla on the tip of the tongue again. There's a bit of bitterness on the sides. Let's go for some water again. This is a very curious dram. Yeah. Yeah. Once again, right on the tip of my tongue and the roof of my mouth. Lots of vanilla and fruits on the sides. And yeah, the 52-year-old Highland malt was most likely something aged in a sherry cask. Who knows which one it was? I would love to know. Was it a Glenfarclas? Was it a Glendronach? Was it an Aberlour? What was it? I don't know. I have no idea, but I know it was a sherry cask, and it's great considering that cask was as old as I am. Wow, wow, that's some whiskey. I may never see it again. And just in case you were wondering, is Deveron Lochnagar J.P. Weiser's Union 52. A grand total of $80.49 with taxes. Without the taxes, it's $69.99. So $80 for something this limited edition and this good. Yeah, it's definitely worth every penny. Well, I will drink to your good health and cheers.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.